All right, what is up, everybody? Think in the strat. It's another week coming up. I want to meet with you guys because I feel this is going to be one of the craziest weeks this year. It's going to set the tone. We have a lot of divergences in the market that I had noticed, and I think with this setup, well, some of the setups we're having, we could potentially have like opportunity to make the most money you guys ever made. Like people can double, triple their ports. So we're having some major divergences. So first thing I noticed on Friday, the S&P obviously ended up tanking, until in the day. Consolidated right here, which is rare because gold did the exact opposite. So gold ran inverse of the S&P, and that's very rare that they diverge. They usually run somewhat similar. They'll either run close together or, just kind of do their own thing, but it's rare when they run inverse. So that can be a big signal economically. Usually when investors think there's fear or something bad in the market, they start to flee to gold. On top of that, the bank collapse that just happened is causing an emergency meeting. So we're gonna have an emergency Fed meeting on Monday. And then I think they just moved CPI. So we have emergency Fed on Monday. Tuesday we're gonna have CPI, and we're gonna have PPI. Major things. Looking at the dollar literally fell with the S&P 500, which is not normal once again. So the more the dollar goes to crap, the more people put money in gold. So it was like a very rare occurrence when we had the dollar and the S&P drop with gold pumping like that. So full alert on gold to see. We might have a slight pullback, but the overall trend I think is still going to be pretty bullish. When we look at gold, we still have a lot of highs to take. You can see from when the last time I had shorted it here and here. And then look, we're still on a major buy side of the curve. So I don't know who's still in gold. Are you guys still in gold? Like I said, I'm in the monthly position. My monthlies are up like 330%. Anybody in gold still? No, none of you guys currently. Okay. Yeah, gold is definitely going to be my major swing, and this is the one that could probably make y'all the most. Oil right now, we're looking at, it's kind of falling off. I think it's kind of due to oil. Oil is setting up very bullish, and whenever oil gets bullish, again, oil tanks. And right now, oil has a very bullish pattern. So I'm kind of holding off on oil. I still have those contracts too, though. But it dropped past my level. Could come back into a buy zone, like right here. That would be the order block. But my main focus is still gold. With gold, you can easily wait for, a pullback or retracement, break of structure, as we call it, into the level. So something like this is what you would want to look for. But gold literally hasn't had a rally like this in a long time. These contracts overnight on Friday, once again, we got Fridays. The monthlies were up 300. The 0 days from open to close were up 2,400%. $2,400%. That's the equivalent of turning like 200 and something bucks to like $5,000. Yeah, $1,000 to 24K. If you had 100 grand, you would make 2.4 million. Yes, this is why I trade gold, and it's not like it's the first time. I think it was like 2 weeks ago when they did this. On a Friday, the countries were up 1,300%, but this bar alone, 2,400%. Like I said, I love gold because it moves a little different than ES. I feel it's kind of more predictable. And if you notice, I'll chart it a little different. It doesn't really use for value gaps like the S&P does. It just comes into very low areas of demand and then rockets out. It doesn't sit there long. So every time I see it pull back into area of demand, I'm always looking, or a previous high or low. So I'll look at like old weekly highs and take it from that. So like this is the last weekly high. Move this right here. I'll be looking here for gold. And this is the old low that we came into. Like I said, gold, I kind of trade more old school, but this is like one of the ones I have very high confidence on, especially when I'm looking at market structure and seeing that the S&P, we might take lower lows. I was planning on us to take it higher, but that big collapse came out of nowhere. So we kind of have to hold off on that SPX swing because events like that can completely break technicals. So even though the technicals are showing and we know the pattern, we have no clue, what they're gonna do. To be honest, we don't know if they're gonna. We're expecting the Fed to up the points. We could drop it even further, but like I said, Monday, anything they discuss is gonna cause a major reaction. I don't know how they're going to fix this. It's not that bad yet. It's just one bank, but they're already trying to backstop it. So trying to create safeguards. I just know how the market reacts illogical at times, and people panic. And if they can't prevent the panic, we're gonna like flash crash the market. We already have people saying it's gonna be just as bad as 2008. So that's the thing too with the market. We have people like Bill Ackman. He's already saying it's gonna be worse. He's the same guy who called the last recession. He went on TV. Was like, I don't know if you guys remember that in 2020, he was the worst thing ever. We've never had a crash like that. The reason he does that, he probably has a huge short position, to be honest. That's the way all these financial networks work. They bring on people who have the money, who want, the market to go to a certain way. They pay their way on TV and they can influence the market. It's really what they do. So it was already bearish, but he had a huge short position. He went on TV talking about it's the end of the world. It looks like he's doing the same shit right now. If you don't know Bill Ackman, he runs, I think it's called Perishing Square, one of the largest hedge funds in the world. Very young guy for a hedge fund. It's probably like his 40s, maybe early 50s, really young looking guy. But anytime I see them start doing shit like that, it's like, all right, they kind of be cautious and be prepared for whatever they're going to do. Because they're the ones who move the market and have the money. But like I said, the dollar's going to shit. See, $103 with the S&P. Even though having a bullish pattern, we can drop to these levels on the S&P. When you look at the 3,800, that's my next level. But I'm hearing talks. People were saying that we could see a $3,100 S&P, which I don't even have anything that low. So just be mindful of what they're trying to do or what they can do. So the way to play this market, if they're going to start dropping it, is going to be shorting every major bounce. It's literally the best way to play a bear market, kind of like what we've been doing now, but it's going to just be more severe. Every time we drop, you're going to expect push up for like 2 days, and then that's where you're going to look to take your short position. The easiest thing you can do, if you don't want to time it, because it is going to be harder for you guys still versus someone like me who's like seen it before, you can start averaging into, like, after your 2 or 3 days, you get average into puts, but you could probably average into like Apple puts, because then you'll get weekly puts versus having 1 days. Because if you anything SPX, you're gonna have to get 1 day contracts, and every day is like a week. So I always tell people, if you want to like swing the S&P for cheaper, just get Apple, because they only have weekly puts, and Apple This price movement is like 95%, sometimes 99% similar to the S&P. So this is an easy hack. Look at Apple getting ready to take out these lows. So very similar pattern. Look at two. So you could be buying Apple. Like I said, I'm very bullish on gold. That's gonna be my major focus. This 3,800 on ES, another major focus for me. Now there's gonna be another thing I had noticed was a bank stop. I heard which trader I heard them talking about it, because everybody's gonna go up to this SVB crap that crashed. But the contracts would be so insanely high. So one of them is gonna be SBNY. It's closely related. Signature Bank. They also had I think they're like California based. They had major issues. So I'm looking at them. And the most recent one is going to be this JFB Bank. This one, or FRC, I'm sorry. This one might be the biggest trade. As you see, I'm looking for it to bounce. If we look and we measure retracement, this breakout. Oops. You can tell we hit this low. A lot of people are going to realize we dropped to $40 and we bounced 50% of the asset. So like this is a huge range from this drop. And this is literally since last week. Look at that. So 1 week range. This is insane. That is not normal at all. So high alert on this one, because these contracts are like super cheap. What I'm kind of expecting to play is, since we dropped, and I don't expect us to hold this drop, to be honest, even though it got bought up, because this was kind of like fake. I think this was them. I'm pretty sure this was institutional sponsored, because it's banks. They do everything to prevent banks from collapsing. You can see like these buys are gapped up, so that's not normal. Something happened here. But to be honest, I don't think this bank is going to hold. So I'm looking to take the first drop, because usually that's what happens. Drop aggressively, will bounce up. We might get one more green bar before we gas out. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. That's literally how bounces usually happen. So if we can catch that bounce and drop it, we can bring it back to the I'm rich biatch zone. Contracts $40 out the money can go from out the money to in the money. So like there's going to be a lot of potential home run plays. So definitely have this one marked. Now, even if I'm wrong, we can play it to the upside. If we break out and we hold this 50% level, which let me mark it on my chart. We still have 40 points to the upside. So either way, this range is so huge. We're literally at damn near equilibrium of an insane range. So it's going to be high alert all week watching this, because whatever they say, it's going to cause, major moves to happen. I'm basically looking to short anything that stayed bullish, to be honest. I think there was another bank that actually had a green day. but it's gonna be super high alert for Monday. How does your chart look, Alan? Yeah, sometimes I don't know why TLS does not show data right. Like, I don't know what that is. I've seen that before. Like it'll miss some hours or something. Yeah, see, that's definitely not right. Oh yeah, inside day here. Or no, just one day. Like Thursday, Friday. Look at that. Let me check. The easiest way is to check another platform. Give me just a second. I'll check on E-Trade or Webull. Yeah, nah, I'm showing a down day on Webull. 2 down day. A crazy 2 down day too. What the hell? It looks even crazier on Webull. That shit looks like a data split in half somehow. Oh no, that's the value. Yeah, so yeah, it's a 2 down day. So you can see the huge volume spike too. I just noticed. Look at that. So something happened. Something, I don't know who bought this up or if there's like safeguards or the Fed buys it, but this shit flew and the volume pumped. We look at the volume today, 51 million versus a normal day is like 150x volume. Something's fishy. Even on these dumps, like look how strong these dumps are, and these are only 2 million. So like, how is it that 50 million volume came when usually the highest volume is going to be a dump like that? So this is high alert. Gold is high alert, and ES is high alert because you hit these plays, and some of these plays can go like 1,000% back to back. So you think you hit 1,000% play. Like let's say you can very simply do a play for like 100, 200, hit 1,000%, make your 1 to 2 grand, put your 100 away. You can even pay yourself out of that 100, 200. You can pay yourself half. You own with 500 to 1,000, hit 1,000%, which make 5 to 10 grand. Do the same thing. See where I'm going with this? 5 to 10 grand, put your money away. Half that's like 2,500 to 5K. Hit another 10xer. You're like 25 to 50 grand, like 3 or 4 trades. Very fast. And that's what paying yourself. So even if the trade goes to crap, you at least lock in your profit. But these are the opportunities people are going to be having this week for sure. I know a lot of people who've done that before. I did that when I was new. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, just got lucky trading like Tesla, where it had a huge run and I was just like full port. That's how I built my first account. Like took like $200, turned it to like 7. Played Tesla earnings, that shit was like 3,400. Took a call out. I think I woke up at like 12 grand. Played earnings again, I was at like 50 grand, like a week. Had no clue what I was doing. Blew that shit like a week later. But, oh yeah, 2020, early 2021 was crazy. But now it's different because we understand the market, we understand market cycles. And the main thing that puts people like me ahead, on FRC, I might do both, to be honest. Like a lot of times I'll do the combo pack. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I mean, that's a good idea. Since it's just going to be a major banking issue. So it might be good. Or I might just do, instead of weeklies, I might just do 2 weeks, do a few weeklies and then 2 or 3 weekers. but I'll probably do both. That'd be the best part. Best way to go about it, get a few monthlies, take advantage. Because the monthlies, if you just get some part the money monthlies and just leave them. Worst thing to do is sit there and go sideways. Or you can always get weeklies and you start rolling them too. You just keep rolling the weeklies. But that wouldn't be a bad idea to get the combo pack. So, you know, whatever is necessary, you know, to keep this momentum going. But I think this is going to be a potential like home run play just because of this range. It's like so rare for something like this to move like this. Like, you look, it's never had an event like this, I don't think. Just think of it like, because the market is fractal, right? What happens if this was like, instead of pretending this is a day, this was an M5 or 15 overnight? What would happen? We're going to aggressively start to fill this gap up or down. Same thing's going to happen on a daily time frame. So understanding that, we know to be ready. Like I said, this one's going to be high alert. The other thing I want to show you guys is I got this to help you guys. To be a little challenge we can do. We'll go here. Let me pull it up. Boom. So I don't know how many of you guys have started your challenge accounts or funded accounts yet, but I made a risk management plan for you guys. There we go. All right. Boom. Who has started any of those accounts? Anyone? Nobody? Okay, perfect. So what I want you guys to do, what you guys can all do is go to TradingView tonight. Okay, perfect. The static account, I think is like $100 or $75 to try it. So a static account is going to let you get 2 ES at a time. 2 ES is going to be equivalent of $100 up or down per point. So when we look at, usually, like I said, I try and go for 4, but when we look at a day like Friday and Wednesday, I'm sorry, Thursday, it's like 8,500. Even this is like 5,700. Or people who swung, like imagine if you got these calls, puts 200 points out. Whatever point drops it is, you're going to make that. So you guys can, it's a way to get ready. You can take a 100K account on TradingView. You can go to TradingView paper trade. And I think I don't know what it starts out at, but you can literally put it to 100,000. Now, what you're going to do is give yourself the same rules. So for a 100K static account, your drawdown is 625. That's the max before it's blown. The max contracts you can buy at a time is going to be 2 ES. Or 20 MES. What I want you guys to do is set this up and start trading this like it's a real static, because that way when the stat time comes, you're going to be ready. So I gave you guys this risk management plan to follow. So 1% of your drawdown is going to be 625, because since this static account has this drawdown, you have to think of it like this. This is your 100K account, but your real account value is this, because this is the max amount of money you can lose. So if this is the max amount of money you can lose, this is really the account they're giving you. So your asset, MES, is going to be preferred over ES. It's going to cost 5 a point instead of 50. 1% is going to be 625. So a little over a point. Your goal is a 1-to-3 ratio trade. So you want to aim for trades that are going to give you, like 4 points, 3.5 points or whatever equals to 1875. So you're really looking for like 3-4 point trades. So if you can do that 3% daily, it's going to equal 15% a week. So if you can just get one really like 5-point trade, this is 15% a week, which is 93.7. 15% a week is about 60% a month. You're at 375. You've done more than 50%. So average loser with a 3-point stop, which is a very wide stop, it's going to be 15. Now, average winner, if you get a 10-point move, it's going to be 50. This is just with one MBS. This isn't even with 10. This is just showing one MBS. A 1-point loss is near 1%. A 5-point winner is near 3%. A 10-point winner is near 8%. So now what we're going to do is go in with 5, which is going to be like half of 1 ES. A 1-point winner with 5 MES is going to be about $25. A 5-point winner is going to be 125. A 10-point is going to be 250. A 3-point loss is $75. 8 losses in a row, account is gone. This is where we go into risk management. If we have an average win rate of about 50%, 10 trades win. 5 points win is $1,250, or a 10-point win is $2,500. 10 trades loss is going to be about $750. So 10 trades with a 50% win rate, you're looking at about a $5 win, $250, and a $10 win, about $875 left over. Actually, hold on, those numbers are a little off. Looking at about $1,750 on a 10-point win if you're taking losses of 50%, and you're looking at $500. Oh, you know what this is? This is if you were to take 5 out of 5. Okay, it makes sense. So if you did, I was thinking of 10 and 10. Yeah, so if you did out of 10 trades total, even with a 50% win rate, if you just follow this plan, you'd expect to be up 250. Or if you started getting 10-point wins, you'd be up 875. It's just out of 10 trades. 10 trades can be in less than a week. I mean, there could be days you take 3 or 4 trades if they're good. Like this day, you could have took a ton of trades, or you could have just took 1 trade and held it. But there was, tons of entries. But the goal is to get consistent with this and build up your capital. Because once you guys start doing this like clockwork, then you can go for the real account. And once you do a static, the next step is to just go for the full elite, the 100K, because that one you can do as many contracts as you want within logic. You can do like 14. So really imagine all these numbers, but you're consistent and add a 0. So instead of at the end of 10 trades, instead of 250, you're looking at 2,500. Instead of 875, you're looking at 8,750. It's the same exact thing. It's just more contracts. So you see how like planning is how you make your money with trading. The only difference is 10x the contracts. Yeah, so you're looking at, instead of 5 MES, which is only, that's only half of ES, you're looking at 50. 50 EMS would be like 5 ES contracts. I'm always doing 4 on average. So you guys get consistent. Boom. I'm gonna drop to it's your extra. On the static though, yeah, on the static, it's yeah, the way the static works is it's just whatever your drawdown, it just stays. On some of them, they have a trailing. So like I know on the regular, when I'm up, even if I'm up, if I go down, when it's not passed, like let's say I'm up like 5K on the count. If I go down 3,500, it'll instantly cut it. Now, TradingView will let you do it live. You just gotta log into your paper trading. So I'm actually gonna post, there's like the rules to the plan. I had it saved in my phone. I'm gonna post it in a group. That way you guys will have that to stick by. I just gotta find it somewhere on my phone. But that's pretty much it for this meeting, y'all. Any questions, concerns, anything you guys want me to address before I go, anything you're looking at or looking for? Awesome. Awesome. Well then, if that's it, all right, guys. Anytime. Yep. See you guys on Monday.